Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to Live Signing. And I am Alexandra Bose. I will be your host today. I'm the woman who is blessed enough to be the manager of Rosie Mercado, the author of The Girl with Self-Esteem Issues. Welcome.
Hey, I'm so excited. Happy dads, we're here.
The
A moment
day
of celebration. Day of celebration. Oh my God, how many sleepless nights, oh my God, goodness, just to get to this, everything that we've been praying for such a long time
I
manifested.
know. I know.
Yes.
So just so everybody knows, Rosie is a TV personality, as you all know. She's also has her own podcast with the Girl with the Self-Esteem Issues, same name. She's also plus model, and she is a very proud Latina woman whose whole story went viral when she lost 240 pounds. Talk about a transformation. So it was such an honor to walk that with you, Rosie. So before we jump in about the book and everything, I just want to say thank you so much for writing this book for people everywhere. You were so honest. You were so courageous. You were so authentic, girl, with your voice. And so thank you for having the courage to put this all out. People are going to flip out. They don't know these stories about you when they read your book.
There's so many life lessons and I think that's what happens, that you've seen me on TV, you've seen the glamour, the makeup, like you see all the stuff, the pictures, the images, but what happens behind the scenes, the sleepless nights, the knocking on the doors, the rejection, the failed marriages, like everything, failed businesses, everything that I've learned from the long traveled nights with no sleep and getting back and forth between Vegas and California. So many years of working that we've been going since 2009 on this journey, and like it's been such an amazing journey, but I'm so excited to be able to share all the life lessons. This is an invitation to get inspired, to live your best life, not be ashamed of your past, to be present, to say yes to your life, to your wants, your needs, your desires, and say no to anything that's toxic that you don't need to be around. It's about self-love, self-worth, and it's taking the shame out of failure. It's how are you looking at your own failures, your own stories that you tell yourself, your size, the number on the scale, the weight that you've gained, weight loss, the failed marriages, the failed relationships, the failed businesses, moments that you don't feel your best, that you put yourself down, that you take other people's rejection because you're being authentic or vulnerable. And you really take that to heart. Like, this book is for you. Like, if you've gone through any of that and you've gone through shame of even talking about it or don't know who to talk about it, there's life lessons. And I've been blessed enough to be able to look at those moments of pain and transition and work in the transformation of being able to look at what is that teaching me and what is the wisdom that's wrapped around the pain, and grow from it, which has made me the woman that I am today. So I'm sharing the memoir with you guys, The Girl with Self-Esteem Issues.
And yes, I want to remind everyone that you, in order to get their signed copies, that Rosie is literally going to sign today live. So you know her hand has been on this book.
Yes.
And they are available at premiercollectibles.com/Rosie. So let's, I know you've talked a lot, especially on this launch day, about going through and learning life lessons, but let us dive a little deeper into some of these juicy lessons. All right, Rosie, so we often talk about how sometimes when God is trying to teach you a lesson, you get a little nudge. And I know Oprah, this came initially. Then you get a little punch, then a pinch, and then eventually you get a 2x4 upside the head.
Big brick.
Big brick. Exactly. Big brick. So love is the stuff that makes the world go round, girl. And it is so important to my girl, Rosie, love and relationships. And so I don't know if any of you know, 3 marriages, 3 children,
1, 2, 3.
3 times abandoned by your man while you were pregnant. So there's a pattern there, girl.
There's definitely a pattern. And you guys, as I'm looking down, I just want you guys to know I'm literally signing the book, just so you guys know.
Yep. So what's the lesson?
The lesson in there, that the lesson will repeat itself until you learn. You learn, you will go through the same pain. It was the same man, different face. It was the same constant problems over and over. But at some point, when that happens so many times, you can't keep being a victim and point somewhere else. You have to be able to say, I'm going to take responsibility. Why do I keep creating this in my life? Why do I keep attracting this into my life? And remember, life will mirror back at you exactly who you are. Like, and if there's something that you don't like about that, then it's time to do the inner work. It's not external. Inner work starts reflecting on the outside. So if you feel like you're going through chaos, you feel like you're going through depression, you feel like just things are not going the way that you want, you're not in the relationships that you want, just things aren't going the way that you want, there's some inner reflection that you have to start doing, and start doing the inner work. And I think it starts from really taking personal responsibility for everything that's going on in your life, and just really asking quality questions. Not why is this happening to me, what can I learn from this, and then what can I learn from this, really understand the lesson and say, God, thank you so much. I've learned my lesson. And when those red flags pop up, don't ignore them. Pay attention to the red flags, because that's God guiding you. That's God giving you those signals. This is not the way. Like, turn around, go in a different direction. And also being grateful for closed doors. There's so many times that I would start crying every time I'd go through rejection, or I didn't get an audition, or just something in my life didn't go the way that I planned. Instead of looking at that in a form that's negative, being thankful, okay, this door closed. This is not a door I'm supposed to be walking through. It's all in God's timing. It's all a revelation. And there's a process of work that has to be done. You have to be willing to do the work in order to create success. And it does not happen overnight.
Yeah. As your manager walking through that, I can tell you, you truly live that. There are so many times in your career, because when I started working with you, you were almost your top weight, 420 pounds. And I walked this transformation with you. So so many times you had your heart set on a job or a client or an opportunity. And when it didn't work out, we had to revisit and just pray through it and believe that if, that rejection's redirection, as your book says.
Yes. And then not taking other people's stories and making it your own, just understanding that you're perfectly imperfect, that your ass is a gift. I got criticized for not having a body that was balanced out. My hips were always bigger. My thighs were always thicker. And there was a point where I started resenting that. And I started believing that.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point, now that I'm 40 and I've gone through so many ups and downs in life, and I've gained weight, I've lost weight. Now I'm able to look at my body and say, thank you. Thank you for every stretch mark that I have. Thank you for the cellulite that I have, because my body is moving, it's functioning. And at my age 40, it allowed me to birth my son, my 5-month-old, and going through that process and having a healthy birth and having a healthy baby. Those are moments that I have to be able to look back at that and say, wow, like, my body is powerful. Like, it's giving life, looking at it in such a different way. And you know what? I love my body. I have curves. I embrace them. Yep. Yes, I have cellulite. I embrace it. That's just part of my body. I am never going to be a certain size, and I don't want to be a certain size.
Right.
I'm dropped out to a certain size, because I've learned that as I've gotten down to my smallest, that doesn't always equal that you're happy. And even at my biggest, there was moments that I was unhappy, but in between, my before is as beautiful as my after. It's the journey in between that I am so grateful for, because it's given me so much inner strength. And it's giving me the power of decision. The only one that I can control is myself, my emotions, and what I am doing with my own life. I have no control. And all those infidelities, that was not a reflection of me. That was not for me to take responsibility for. That was not my fault. That is a reflection of them.
I mean, when they cheated on you, just let's keep it clear. Infidelity was not you cheating on them.
No. When I got cheated on me, and I feel like
what's wrong with me that
I went that like years. I went through, what the hell is wrong with me? Why do I keep getting cheated on? And at the end of the day, and then I would always dream of this moment that they'd come in and just apologize. And it's like, I'm so sorry, I want you back. The reality is, it doesn't matter. Like, time passes by. Time is precious. In between, I had to transform my thinking into changing my vision of the present, of what I was going through, allowing myself to feel those moments of pain and surrender and of loss, because you're mourning the loss of your marriage. and at the same time being able to restructure and reframe, giving a new story to my future. And that for me, choosing instead of being a victim of those circumstances, saying this is an opportunity for me to learn and grow. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to find my passions. I'm going to go after new opportunities. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to, read as much as I could. Honestly, like, reading for me was what educated me so much throughout the process. Picking up books, constantly reading, because in the moments that I found myself in the darkest places, I was hungry to figure out how to get out of that. And reading
That's
really not only
amazing.
inspired my heart, my soul, and my mind. And that for me is
Yeah.
powerful. And that's one of the things that also pushed me in this book.
Yeah, Rosie, I want to go back because I don't know that people understand that in all of your marriages there was a definite emotional abuse, but in one of them it got physically abusive. And there's so many women who are stuck in bad relationships and they're scared to get out. And so, I mean, if you could speak a little bit to what gave you the strength, like you were saying, the hunger to better yourself, the hunger to make new and better choices. So many people, not just women, people get stuck in situations that aren't good for them and they're scared to let go.
I think you become scared to let go, number one, when you're afraid of the unknown, the uncertainty. I better just stick with what I know now and what I see and what I have, because I already know that path.
Hmm.
But to be able to let go the fear of being alone, the
Hmm.
fear of criticism. I mean, being Latina for me and being divorced as many times as I am and getting the criticism, it's like, again, like, it was always my fault. The finger was always pointed at me. It's like, what did you do wrong? There definitely has to be something wrong with you, girl, because you're going through so many divorces. And then the guilt. You stay in a relationship out of guilt for your kids, or because you're in love with the idea of marriage, but not the actual
Yeah.
marriage itself. Why? Because I married someone, but yet I didn't know who I was, and
Right.
definitely did not know who they were at the end. And I found out throughout the process. So, and also because you're fearful. When you go through physical and emotional abuse, you start believing what you're constantly told.
Hmm.
I was too fat, too ugly. Nobody was ever going to love me. And that is a constant story that I kept hearing. And I started believing it's like, okay, I have 3 kids. This is my all or nothing moment. Either I stick it through or nobody's ever going to love me. So if you've ever felt that in your life, that is
Yeah.
not your last chance. That is bunch of BS. You cannot make other people's stories
Yes.
your own. You have to own it and say, hold on, in life we get what we tolerate. And I'm going to say that is a lie. And I'm not going to tolerate that. And I'm going to find strength. And it takes time to find strength, because I know some people are saying it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy, but you have to build up. I've learned that it's better to make decisions off of inspiration rather than desperation, because in the moments that I was desperate, I made some big mistakes that I have to take responsibility for. In the moments that I was inspired and empowered, I learned how to say no, because
Yeah.
I understood self-respect and I understood my self-worth. And that made a huge difference. I mean, making that decision was a huge difference, because as soon as I started operating from that, then I started living and attracting my dreams, my hearts, my desires, becoming a better parent, having healthy emotional self-esteem,
Hmm.
healthy decision making, attracting the opportunities in what I wanted in work, loving my kids in the way that they needed to be loved, not the way that I thought, learning that language, and learning to love myself enough to say, no, thank you, I will pass, doing it gracefully.
See, this is so awesome because what you talk about in the book, which no one knows about, is there was a time when you lost the ability to walk. There was so much pain in your life that it kind of culminated in a brain cyst, and it was pressing on your brain in a way that you could not move, you could not function, and you, at your weight of over 400 pounds and in your situation as a single mom with 3 kids, had to make the decision, how am I going to get myself, out of this, heal myself, so can you speak a little bit to how you overcame such a huge thing like a brain cyst and the inability to walk, your body not doing what you usually know it can do?
I believe that those moments, like Oprah says, when you're hit with a brick and you're brought down to your knees and you have no other way to go, it taught me to pray. it taught me to pray, thankful to my mom and dad that my mom has always been a woman of faith. And she's like, surrender, like ask God for help, like simplest prayer, just help me, just help me. And finding myself that after going through a divorce and then being hit with a cyst in my brain and not finding balance, and then going to different hospitals and not figuring out, everybody associated that I was going to have a heart attack because of my weight, and that was going to be it. But there was other symptoms that were going on. I couldn't walk straight. I was slurring my words. There was just I had to literally hold on to things to be able to walk, lift my legs. And it got to a point where I was just constantly, they were giving me medication and I was just sleeping. That's all I was. And I would wake up and I'm like, is this what my life came to? Like, this is it? Asking myself that question, is this it? And having the strength from my father of saying, you have to fight for your life. You have to get up. You have to do something. You have to fight. You have to find new ways. If this isn't working, something else. And just always having what's next, like move, like you could cry along the way. Just keep going, keep finding answers. You cannot like give up. And I feel that as I was younger, I didn't really understand a lot of my parents' teachings. As I got older and I confronted, I faced problems and adversity, those lessons automatically were a refresh of like, okay, my dad told me this, like this makes sense.
Yeah.
This makes sense. And having that support of constantly being pushed in the direction of, you can't stay there. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. You have to work through it. Don't stay there. Look at your kids. Look at how you're feeling. Is this where you want to stay? And then being able to reflect on that, because there's so many times that it was so hard to get out of bed, because it was the crying, the emotional disconnect with my kids. It was the emotional disconnect of everything that was going on. I noticed a pattern that every time that I went through depression, or I felt really bad about what was going on, I was just in this deep darkness, constantly crying, would run to food. I would push everyone away, and I'd hide in my room, and I just push everybody away, I'd hide. I'd close those. I would close those doors and disconnect from everybody. And that really for me was a wake up call to check my health, to check the direction of my life, where I wanted my life to go. And it was a wake up call because I really thought that was it for me. Like for me, literally, I'm like, this is it. This is what I've lived for my entire life. Like, this is it. This is where my life is going to end. And that really was a motivating factor for me to create change the story, educate myself. Like, I can't tell you how important it is to really feed your soul things that are loving, things that are positive, taking care of yourself, because you can only give from a cup that is full, not that's empty.
You are so blessed that you have this amazing, very traditional. I've come to love your family all these years I've been working with you. You have this amazing traditional Mexican family, and they've been so supportive, and they have taught you, and they're just people of faith that have lifted you up no matter what you've walked through. They've been there for you, so that value of family is so beautiful in your life.
Oh my goodness, have they been there for me? Like my mom and dad, they're incredible parents. And, through this journey, I was not always the best daughter. And that is a lesson of appreciation, because they really showed me their unconditional love and acceptance without constant judgment of my decision making. Rather, every time I fell, they were always had an arm out, a hand out to say, hey, get up. Like, you can't stay there. It was never like this again. No, it's like, we got to get moving. Come on, let's go. Feel what you're going to feel, but you got to keep going. You can't give up. And it was constantly, ask God for guidance, pray, walk faithfully, ask God to help you. And that was something that I admire a lot in my dad, which is something that when I was younger, I did not understand. And my mom, just the unconditional love of always being there.
That's so okay. So I could talk to you forever. There are so many aha moments that I walked through with you and saw you grow. And I'm just so proud of you. But I know all your fans have questions for you, and I want to dive in and ask some of them for you. Okay. So Shonda from Woodbridge, Virginia asks you, when thinking about the start of your journey to beautiful you, so cute, what would you say to the women looking up to you to stay steadfast on their journey?
Always write down the why. There were so many moments throughout the journey that you guys don't see that I had to call Alexandra. I had to call my dad. There was moments that I just felt like, even my trainer, like, I'm like, I don't feel like working out today. I don't feel like eating healthy today. Just give me whatever. There was moments that I was just I was tired of knocking on doors and getting rejection. And there was moments that I had to go back to my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I driven to keep going after this? And when you're reminded of your why, it gives you that burst of passion, that burst of energy. It gives you the gratitude of saying, you know what, I got to know right now, but that's not the ultimate answer. My yes is coming. I have to keep on going. If I want the inner transformation and I want the physical transformation, then I have to keep working. It's about discipline. It's about values. It's about going. You got to keep going even when everybody tells you that you can't. You have to prove it to yourself. It's not what you could prove to the world. It's what you could show yourself that you're capable of. It's that hunger, that passion, and that discipline and perseverance that goes into that to keep going. So write down your why loud and clear. And on top of, put why, write down your why, write down your goal. So every morning when you wake up, you are clear why you're getting up out of bed, what you're going to go after, and what you're going to be relentless about.
Yeah, girl. And Rosie and I pray every day. Every day.
The power of prayer.
We do a spirit-led career for her, and we pray every day, use us. Use us.
Use us.
And it's very clear for us, laser focused, that we just want God to use us to impact and serve. And it's like reflected in everything she does. So
another thing that you could do for those of you watching and listening, just declare, speak life into your present and your future. I have everything that I need within me now. I'm perfectly imperfect. My yes is coming. My better days are coming. This is just an experience that I'm growing. I'm transforming. Use me. Thank you for today. I'm breathing. There's purpose to my life. I declare that everything that my heart desires will come to pass. I'm a student getting prepared for the best time of my life. Just speak that, breathe it, say it until you believe it, say it until you're breathing it, say it until it comes to pass. And I promise you that if you do the work and stay on your path, nobody else's path, the path that you are here born for, I promise you those doors will open when you least expect it. If the doors haven't opened yet, there's lessons and growth and stretching that you're being cracked up, you're being open to getting stretched out to get prepared for that moment. Trust me, stay on the path, do the work, you will get there.
That's so good, Rosie. That's so good. Okay, that leads me to this next question, which is so cute and so much fun. What has been your favorite photo shoot or celebrity moment so far?
Oh my God, best photo shoot.
Or celebrity moment.
Celebrity moment. Oh my God.
I remember one when you were on the Oscar carpet. I was like, like what was, for me as your manager, what was the one that hit you like, oh my gosh?
Okay, so I mean, so for my Latino viewers, being at the Latin Grammys and having Sin Bandera sing to me live, woo, I was like, oh my goodness, because they sing so amazing. So that's all for my Latino viewers. For my English audience, I have to say that I really had a surreal moment. Like when Mario Lopez walks onto a Curvy Girl shoot, he's right there. We're shooting for Curvy Girls, which was a show that I was on. And Mario Lopez just kind of like, I'm like, that's Mario Lopez. Like I used to watch him, and he was just so graceful and just like this energy that pulled you. So that for me was really, like, it was just such a cool moment. There's been so many, but those are just moments that I feel like, this is cool. Thank you, God, for letting me live this moment.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so great. Okay, so here's another one that's good. Who are you the most inspired by?
Oh my God. That is a good question. So when it comes to inspiration, I definitely have my go-tos that I constantly have on social media, that I have listening on podcasts. You guys, I have a podcast, so don't you go away. If you want some inspiration, you can listen to my podcast, The Girl With Self-Esteem Issues, wherever you listen to podcasts. But my favorite inspiration,
in
Spanish and English.
And the book too.
And the book, the book is coming out not only in English, in Spanish, because there's been a lot of questions on that. When it comes to amazing teachers, may he rest in peace, Dr. Wayne Dyer. I remember there was moments that I would just turn on the TV, and I remember he captured my attention just by his grace and his wisdom, and just how he would deeply just start talking. And there was something that you would be captured by his voice. It was soothing and loving. And I remember that the day that I decided that one day I was going to have a book, and I prayed about it, was a day that he was talking about his own book and how he manifested it, and how he had it already designed. Like he knew how it was going to look, and he had the name of it, and he would look at that, and that would inspire him to start writing. And he knew that everything would come together. So definitely Dr. Wayne Dyer, may he rest in peace, a beautiful soul.
That's awesome. I loved him too. I get it. So, okay. What would you say to another young female entrepreneur?
Oh, hustle, mama. Don't take no for an answer. A no, rejection is just redirection. Do not give up. I have been knocking on doors since 2008 on my life dreams. And I could tell you how many women thought that I was crazy, that I was told that just get an 8 to 5. There's nothing wrong with that. But they would criticize me, like, what do you do? You're too fat. You're Latina. You've been divorced too many times. Like, get out of here. Go. Go. You'll never be that. I would get that all the time. You'll never be on TV. Like, get behind a mic. Radio is good for you. And I remember the hustle. I feel that temptation and obstacles come to test us to see how bad do we want it. How bad are you willing to hustle? How much are you willing to knock on the door? And if something doesn't open, next. What's that? If that's not working, that's just a redirection of saying, all right, let me rework this. How bad do I want it? So have a clear purpose of what you want. Knock on doors. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Find an inspiration of someone who's doing exactly what you want to do. Figure out what worked for them. Get inspiration. Educate yourself. And when I say that, pick up books, listen to podcasts, get inspired. And this has to be daily workings, because there's some days that you will wake up and not feel like doing it. And remember, in order to create success, there has to be discipline, and you have to keep going day in and day out.
Oh, sister, I can confirm that as her manager. This woman was living in Vegas and working in LA, and she would be, back and forth, back and forth. She would sleep in her, car if she had to.
I'm telling you, there was moments that I did not have money for a hotel, and I would have to drive from Vegas, and my kids had to be in school the next day. I would get a phone call at midday and said, hey, you have to be here by 4:00, 4:15 the latest. You have an audition. And I would go there, drive 4.5 hours, 5.5 hours to get to a 5-minute audition, and then would have to go back in the traffic to Vegas. Did not have the money for a hotel. So when I would get extremely tired, I'd sleep in my car and make sure that by 6 a.m., I was in Vegas to take my kids to school. Like, when I'm telling you that I hustled, there was sleepless nights. When I hustled, there was nights that I felt like, I'm tired, but I got to keep going. And you just have to let go of the excuses and just go do it. And I promise you, you will see the light. The light always shines.
Yes. Okay, Rosie, this question hit my heart. I just love the person who was so honest to ask this. I've been struggling with accepting myself in a lot of ways, because social media makes everyone look so beautiful and their life so amazing. How can I ignore all the other distractions and focus on the love for myself?
Okay, first of all, go into your social media and unfollow anything that makes you feel less than worthy. That's first of all. This is about your own well-being. Follow anything that makes you feel less than worthy. Second, don't compare yourself to someone's picture that might not really be the reality that they're living. They're just placing a moment in their time that they lived, and good for them. Like, God bless them for that. But never compare your life, because everybody's on a different journey. Your life, you're here with purpose. You're breathing. You have purpose. So focus on that, because then that becomes a distraction. Third, gratitude. Gratitude is so important. Be grateful for the body that you have, for the beauty that you have, for the voice that you have. There's power in your voice, for everything that you live, because that is a story. And every time you tell your story, you have an opportunity to heal and to be an invitation to someone else to walk with you. And I think the biggest one, declare that you love yourself and do things that make you feel good about you. That's so important. Taking time for you. If you feel good taking a bath, take a bath. If you feel good listening to great music to change your state, then do that. You have to do things that make you as a human being feel good. You get up. Don't wait to lose weight to buy the dress. Don't wait to get to a certain place in your life to get dressed up and take yourself out to dinner. Don't wait. If you want flowers, buy yourself the flowers.
Yes.
Do things that make you feel happy.
Love that.
Love yourself, because you know what? You have one relationship that will be with you forever, and that is you.
Yes, girl. And let me tell you something. Rosie can talk about social media challenges. She's had haters. She's had death threats. I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about how, what you do to kind of push social media pain aside?
So first of all, social media, when I tell you block and delete, baby. If someone's like annoying you, if someone's criticizing you, that's just negative and toxic, you don't have to read that. Just block and delete. Go about your day. Send them love. If you get to a point where like I've learned to not let that affect me, and someone sends me a really nasty message, I've learned that is not a reflection of my spirit. That's a reflection of their spirit. And what I'll do is I'll drop some little seeds of love. Hey, I don't know if you're going through a bad day. I see that you sent me this message and it's full of anger. These are things that helped me when I was angry. I love myself. I'm powerful. I'm beautiful. Say that to yourself 3 times, and then I gracefully close the door and I leave it at that. It's a choice not to engage. It takes 2 to start a war. It takes 1 to end it. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage.
Good.
And then I've done the same thing. Social media, when it comes to social media, I follow a lot of inspirational accounts, because it's nice that when I do pop into social media, you find something that you read that's empowering. That's like, I needed that today. That feels good to read. You find something that you read that says, I'm beautiful. I'm perfectly imperfect. There's purpose to my life, or something as simple as, thank you, God. Or you hear someone's message of saying, hey, your best days are coming. Don't give up now. Those are just moments. Those are little seeds in your life that will grow and will take you in a level of saying, all right, if I didn't feel that good about myself, I feel better now, because I got those seeds to my soul, those seeds that my spirit needed.
That's so good. Okay, Rosie, there is an adorable fan on here who has loved you since Curvy Girls. So let me ask her question. I loved you on Curvy Girls. What was it like being around the whole cast? Is there any possibility of a new series or reality show? Boom!
Boom! Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, girl.
Yeah, no, there was, I think for me,
Rosie has 7 kids, okay? People,
oh my goodness.
7 kids. All right, reality show in the making.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have the Latino Brady Bunch over here.
Yes, it does.
Let's see. When it comes to Curvy Girls offered me lots of growth. I was in such a different place. I learned a lot from Curvy Girls, and I really did find myself, because there were so many moments that so many people criticized me. It was definitely growth for me, because I was the girl that was on there with no agency. I was the girl that was heavy. Ooh, can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah, you're back, honey.
The girl that was losing the weight, trying to find myself, knocking on doors. And I just found myself in those moments. I think Denise Bidot had a beautiful spirit when I got to work with her. She was really loving. And her mom, I fell in love with Denise's mom. Like, Denise's mom like made my day. The first time that I was like on a big runway show, wearing a wedding dress, I fell in love with Denise's mom. I got to work. Ivory is crazy funny. Like, Ivory's crazy funny. And then Lorna was like, she was just living life. Like, she was just doing her thing. So when it comes to the cast members, I definitely learned different experiences with them, and I have nothing but good things to say. Would I do that show again? I think I'm in a different place in my life right now. I think it'd be fantastic, because I have so much wisdom, and it's like, I can hold my own skin down. Like, I got thick skin. So it's like, give it to me. Like, you think I'm gonna like you're gonna knock me down. I'm ready. So Curvy Girls, I'm ready for you. Hey.
Or Rosie has a 5-month-old baby. She's doing all this with a little newborn. In fact, we were joking. She has like,
oh my God,
throw up on her dress right now.
Ladies, oh my God. Like, let's keep it real. Like, yes. Let's keep it real. Like, I got my Fashion Nova dress, and I have this Chanel pin that I got as a gift. And then if you guys start looking, I don't know if you guys can see, I have baby throw up on my shoulders. I have baby throw up on my dress. I'm here looking all cute and stuff like that. You guys just don't know. I had to feed my baby right before coming on and stuff like that. But as a mom, you do what you have to do. Like you just roll with it, and it just doesn't. It's like, all right, it's baby throw up. Gotta keep going. Like that's not gonna stop me, and it's definitely not gonna ruin my day. My baby's healthy. I'm proud, and I'm living my best moments. Launching the Girl with Self-Esteem Issues in a wonderful, healthy marriage. I'm getting along better than ever with my kids, and I have a new baby. I have a new baby. He's so, my little chunkers is so cute.
Oh, little, yeah. Okay, guys. I would love, Rosie, for you to share a little about that moment, the moment when you just decided to become like, they call you Queen of Transformation. If y'all didn't know that, that's like her behind the scenes name, the Queen of Transformation. So what was the moment? And you and I know it as the plane moment. Could you speak a little bit about the plane moment that
Oh my
turned
gosh.
everything around for you, girl?
Yeah. Oh my God. That plane moment was my worst and best moment. It
Yep.
was a bittersweet moment. Why? Because it's a moment that somehow brought me to my knees. I remember traveling for Curvy Girls from LA to, no, it was Vegas to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember here I am looking good with my heels and like my designer. Like I remember even what I was wearing. I was wearing a green high-waisted skirt with a top that I had seen on Jennifer Lopez. And I recreated the look for myself. I went to seamstress and I'm like, I want to wear that. Like we're going to make that. And I went and bought the material, made it. Here I am looking like wonderful with my luggage and my heels, walking through the airport, minding my own business and super excited because I'm like, yes, like I'm doing Curvy Girls and I'm like living the life that I've always wanted. I'm heading to New York and like I'm modeling like, somehow. Like I was just living my life.
How big were you at this time, girl? Just to fill in the picture.
I was 380 pounds because I had dropped some weight because I had already been on my first season for Curvy Girls. So here I'm 380, feeling fabulous, doing my thing, of course, because I'm like, I'm okay. Like I'm working. Like I know I got ways to go, but I'm working and I'm loving the way that like my outfit's looking. I'm going to New York. I'm going to style it out. And then it's like, it's time to board. And I'm standing there and they run to me and they're like, yeah, you're gonna need a second seat because you're not gonna fit in one seat. And it wasn't like, it was like, can we talk to you? No, it was like, excuse me. And of course, there was some handsome guys. There's a group of handsome guys that started laughing so hard.
So mean.
And they're like, damn, that's a big bitch. And I remember hearing that. And I was just like, I literally, when he's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, you're gonna have to come with me. And people were turned around looking at me. Some were laughing. Other people were in shock. They felt embarrassed for me.
Yeah.
And I remember the guys, they were so handsome and it just made me feel so bad when they started just laughing at me.
Yeah.
And I remember turning around and I just started like tears were literally coming down. I was so embarrassed. And I walk and I pay at the booth for my other ticket. It doesn't stop there. I get on the plane and here I am like trying to be strong and like suck it up. And I sit there. And then what happens? They put a sign, seat taken, next to me. So and then of course they put me at the very front. So here's everybody walking in, the girl that just got body shamed. And then on top of it, here's your seat extender. Like it was like all these things at once. And I remember sitting there. It was the longest 4.5, 5 hours to New York that I sat there. And I'm just like, oh my God, is this gonna like keep happening? Like, is this quality life? And am I willing to tolerate this?
Yeah.
And for me, it was a moment that broke me. It was a moment that I felt body shamed. I was so happy and it literally was torn apart in literally minutes. And I had so much to think about. And then I started thinking about my kids and thinking about not being able to fit in the car. And I know that I'm excited for everything that I'm doing. And I'm telling you, at 420 pounds, there were some really dark moments, but I also had some good moments. Right. And throughout the journey, there was dark moments and good moments. So I just decided I want a healthy lifestyle. I want to know what it feels to get in the car, to get on a bike. Cause it had been, I can't even tell you when I had been on a bike. To be able to walk and not hurt, like put my heels on and walk through the airport. And then before I get into the airplane, take my heels off because my hips can no longer. But no, I had to wear the heels, stuck it through. But the pain in my hips. And to think of, I have to get a nanny every time that I go out with my kids. Like, is this quality life? Just asking those questions. And that moment was one of my darkest moments because I was forced to look at myself.
Yeah.
And if I want to stay on path or I want to change the path, transform, that moment goes viral because somehow it lands in the news that, that I had gone through that. It goes viral worldwide. And then my transformation is set on fire and people are just like the fat girl that loses weight to become a model. It's like, it was never about that. It was about vitality. It was about to be able to do things that people take for granted. Being able to walk
Yeah.
with my kids, get on a bicycle, fit in a car. Like
Yeah.
for me, like fitting in a car, it's like being able to put a seatbelt on in the car. It's like, oh my God, I fit in any car. Like I don't have to think. Being able to sit on a chair without thinking that if it's gonna break. Like
Yeah,
for
I can
me,
I can tell you, you've always loved being a curvy woman. It's not
yeah,
about your size or the tag your clothing. It was about how you feel about your life, and
yeah.
you were not
I was
happy.
limited.
Yeah, you were
I was
limited,
limited. I
but
was
you're still
limited. That's a
curvy.
reality. I'm
You're
so
still you're still plus.
I'm still plus size. Like I'm plus size and proud. And I can tell you one lesson that I've learned from, especially now that I had the baby and then I'm 40, like my body's changed. Of course it's going to change after giving birth. Like, and I put some pounds on and you know what? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. If you don't like it, you change it. And you know what? If you're happy, then be happy and enjoy it, regardless of what people say. Like it's not me and the scale, like we are no longer friends. Like it doesn't matter. All that matters is what is my state of mind? What is my emotional state? Am I taking care of myself? Am I
Right.
going on walks? Not about killing myself in the gym. Am I just going on walks? And for those who are gym lovers that are in that style, good for you. I love that about you. And those who are not, don't judge me for living the life that I live. Like it just let me be me. And I think that's really what I've learned. It's about owning my own authenticity, what makes me happy, using my voice as something powerful, as a powerful tool to be able to stand up for myself in a loving, purposeful way, respectful way, and being okay with those that don't agree with me. It's okay. We all have different stories. We all have different walks of life. That's the beauty of life.
Yeah, I love how authentic you keep it, Rosie. I mean, here you are. You're just like, yeah, I'm 40, I'm 40, I'm 40. I don't think it's just because you're so authentic, you don't even understand how special that is, about how you own who you are. You talk like right now you're over 200 pounds. So what? You're 40. So that is who
Yeah, so
you are. You
what?
show up with no apologies. That is so, it invites, but you see, it invites other people to show up loving themselves with who they are authentically as well. When you own it, you invite others to own it, you
Well,
know?
and this is what this book is about. This is what this is about. Like this book really is an invitation to your own personal transformation, whatever that looks like to you. This is an invitation to step into your best life. This is an invitation to look at your darkest moments as powerful lessons and transform those into wonderful teachings in your life. This is a lesson. This book is about taking responsibility for your own life. This is for you if you need inspiration to keep going, that if you've ever been told different that you're not going to get it, I'm here telling you, look, I went through divorces, infidelity, weight gain, weight loss, like being not the best human being because I was so stuck and wallowing in my depression, being disconnected from my kids, to finding that relationship and the power of loving them in their own love language. I'm telling you, going through all of that, it's made me the woman that I am today. And you know what? I'm here taking personal responsibility and repairing my relationships, doing the physical and emotional transformation on myself to become better and better. And then from there, it has been my biggest focus is be an invitation for others to step into their greatness. Why? Because my authenticity, like criticism, negativity, judgment, I'm no longer scared of that. Like I'm not scared of that. And I think we lack walking in authenticity because we're fearful of rejection. We're fearful that we're not worthy. We're fearful of other people's criticisms about us. And I'm here to say, don't worry. If you do the work, what other people say about you is none of your business. All you have to do is
Yes.
believe in yourself and do the work. And my goodness, give it to God. It's like when you no longer can, it's like, God, help me. Like, I need you just to help me, be here with me, guide me. I need your presence. I need your strength. I can't. And there's moments in my life that I've been there. I couldn't. And I needed God in my life. I needed that strength. And he would send me. It was my dad, my mom, my brother, he would send me, someone would show up. And I promise you, when you do the simplest prayer of help me, someone will show up. Somehow you're guided and you'll be able to start breathing again.
Oh, I'm like crying because I'm so proud of you because this book is so real. It's so candid. It's so authentic. We haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the challenges that you have faced in your lifetime and overcome, how you've been hurt, you've been abused, you've been sick, you've transformed yourself. This is a book about triumph over adversity. This is a book that's inspiring. This is a book about love, about
Thank
faith,
you.
and I'm just like, and I have to tell you, I'm a Hollywood manager, guys, and here I am so blessed to work with Rosie. The way her heart, who she is, who she shows up as in the world. It's just, I'm so honored to be able to be your manager and who've walked this whole journey with you, had a front row seat to you becoming the queen of transformation. And the
Thank
way that
you.
you're using this to help people and to give back and to serve. And so
Thank you.
I cannot tell you how excited. I know
Thank
it's
you.
time to wrap, but before I
I
want to remind
know.
everybody that you need to get this book. You can buy it at premiercollectibles.com/Rosie. These special, beautiful books that we've cried over that Rosie's.
One thing before you go, you guys, it is a pleasure to be able to sit here and sign these books. But before we go, remember, take a deep breath, let it go, and remember, declare who you are every single day. I'm faithfully guided, perfectly imperfect. My best times are coming. I declare it, I breathe it, I walk it. You guys, thank you so much for the love and support, for the wonderful questions. I just hope this is an invitation for you to know that you are worthy, you are lovable, and you know what? Step into your greatness. Rejection is just redirection, baby.
Yes, yes. Thank you again for joining us. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Hi.
I am sitting here with the one and only Jackie Chan, global superstar, and he is signing all of these books. Are your hands tired?
No, tired, but I'm happy.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
really,
so
really
happy
happy.
to hear that.
How do you feel?
Good. I'm excited. This is the first time I've done something like this before, a live signing.
Where do I want to go that I've never been? Oh, we're thinking about, not thinking, we're putting it in motion. I'm going to go to Indonesia on my Irresponsible tour this year. I'm excited about that. I've never been. And there's been a heavy demand for me there. So we're going to go. We're going to go to Indonesia and I'm going to make people laugh in Indonesia. That's how I roll. How do you roll? I can't make this up. Wayne, you got your Indonesia pants? I decided it about a good 3 weeks ago. You'll see it on the schedule soon, so I suggest you go get your pants for Indonesia, because you're not going to wear them stupid pants. Where do you think Indonesia is? India. Yes, we out.
You can see that I'm signing it. This is not some machine scribbling my name. This is my actual human body scribbling my name. So, all right, there we go. First book, signed.
Biggest pet peeve? Men that talk to me with spinach in their teeth.
What can I do while at work to help lower my stress and improve my health?
One musician do you most admire?
I love you all, and we'll talk again soon. Take care.
Bye.
Much love. See ya.
See you soon,
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you around the world. Woo!
Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone here.
Bye, guys.
Say goodbye, Mary.
See you in the morning.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna go get drunk.